Big one is shrimp. What is good, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am having a chicken teriyaki mukbang. This is chicken teriyaki potatoes and white rice from a place called Suki Hana at the mall nearby where I live. Reason I was at the mall, I was going to the movies to see the new movie The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson, Paul Dano, and Colin Farrell, amongst others. So I'm going to be reviewing the movie. I wanted to review it at the mall, but dumb me, I took the camera with me and left the memory card. What are you going to do? So ran home, thankfully not too far, food's still warm. So this is absolutely delicious stuff. I just got started making it there in the beginning. So let me eat a little bit of this food, then we'll talk about this movie and how I feel about it. I'm a big Batman movie fan. I'm a big Batman fan, period. Well, you know what I'm finding more in my life? I'm not so much a Batman fan. I'm more of a fan of the Batman villains. I always find myself, at least as an adult, as well as a kid, I always rooted for Batman. I love Batman. Even though I enjoyed the Joker, Batman was my guy. I always wanted to work out, and of course, I always did. You know, the animated series, you know. But as an adult, I'm coming to find that I love the villains. This potato is gigantic. You know, the villains typically have a good reason to do what they're doing. You know, you're a kid, you're like, no, you know, but like, I was watching this and I was rooting for him from Jump Street. So let me just get right into it. So a few things to make, we're just gonna talk about the movie. So what makes a Batman movie good, in my opinion? I grew up on the 90s, early 90s Batman. My first one I watched was Batman Returns. So naturally I got into the first one with the Joker. Jack Nicholson is the Joker. But my first one was Tim Burton's Batman Returns, where he had free range to make this gothic Batman movie with the Penguin, Catwoman, you know, Christopher Walken in there. Iconic. I mean, as a movie, it doesn't hold up, but for what it is, it works. I still love it. But I'm just giving a little background on my Batman background, so to speak. But what makes a good Batman movie? So first, let's talk about Batman. Obviously, you need a good Batman if you're gonna have a good Batman movie. If you have a bad Batman, probably not gonna work out too well. Now, Robert Pattinson was chosen to play Batman. Now, when people heard this, of course, everybody's like, the Twilight movies. The dude is in other movies besides Twilight. He's a legit good actor. He's like you can tell he loves acting, but he's a good looking kid, and he had to do some really poppy type movies to be able to do what he wants, because he's been doing what he wants more recently. He's been in a movie called The Good Time by the Safdie brothers. They also did Uncut Gems. He's in that really high recommendation. He's also in a movie called The Lighthouse, a horror movie. Well, I didn't really like the movie. He's really good in it. He's a good actor, is what I'm saying. So, what I'm truly getting at is I was rooting for him. This is an interesting pick for Batman. He's not like your Christian Bale ripped Batman. And that's the first thing I noticed with him, because you see him just walking around the house. He's got the black t-shirt on, black jeans. I love the style. And he's not skinny, but he's also not ripped. He's not like Christian Bale ripped. He's just, you know, he looks like me, kind of. Like if I spent 3 months at the gym, I could get to his level. you know. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but I'm just saying it's very relatable. Is the average dude could get to that level, you know? That's all I'm saying. It was a very relatable type character as far as, he looks like me, and I loved his secluded demeanor. He very much encapsulated that, where I didn't get that feeling with Christian Bale. Christian Bale is not my favorite Batman by any stretch, and we're going to go over the Batmans. But he felt like somebody that had been hurt, but also somebody that's conflicted about their identity, which we're going to get into that too. And you could tell he has some guilt over being Bruce Wayne. I don't own him, but I have a lot, and that's why I feel like he became Batman, because he wants to still do the right thing. He kind of, I can't wait to get into that speech by the Riddler. I can't wait to talk about the Riddler. Oh my goodness. All right, let's finish talking about Robert Pattinson. Food's absolutely delicious. I know I'm just riffing on the movie, but food is absolutely delicious. So, Batman. Robert Pattinson did a great job. Very relatable, very good look. The fight scenes are so well done. The car chase scene with him and the Penguin, played by Colin Farrell, excellent scene. The technology, because we know he's just a regular guy. It doesn't take away that regular guyness. But unlike, I'm going to be kind of comparing the other Batman movies, so I don't want to sound like I'm knocking or I'm criticizing any of the other Batman movies, because I'm not by any stretch, because they're different types of movies. But this one felt like a comic book and adult movie combination. So the 90s Batman movies were very comic booky. You know, they just took place in these kind of fictional looking settings. It didn't feel like realistic. So Christopher Nolan, when he did his movies with Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, rest in peace, they were the opposite. They were very adult, very they were very adult. I didn't feel like I was watching a comic movie. I thought I was watching a movie. And there's nothing wrong with those. Those are some of my favorite Batman movies. But here's some water. I didn't really like Christian Bale in those, but getting back to Robert Pattinson, I know I'm all over the place a little bit. I gotta. It's my one. Like, there's a few things from my childhood that I still attach myself to, and Batman is one of them. Like my childhood. But he did a really good job. The outfit, perfect. I like the bat look. There's a scene where he's flying. So well done. The technology that's used there is very realistic. It's something that he would have. And then what I meant to say when I was comparing with the Nolan movies is they explain where the Batcave is, why is the Batcave, how he has access to all this stuff. This movie doesn't explain that. And so it makes the technology and the equipment that he uses a little bit more rudimentary. A little bit more, okay, I can believe that this guy would have access to something this advanced but also basic. You know what I mean? So there was the flying scene was really good. I liked that he didn't talk a lot. He was very secluded in his mansion, very secluded in his own head. And I'm very conflicted. But let's get into the villains. I'm gonna get into the lesser villains first, no disrespect. And then we're gonna get into the Riddler. So Colin Farrell plays the Penguin, who's basically Al Capone, pretty much. He's just playing Al Capone. Oh, the movie is in modern time, by the way. If I didn't mention that, sorry. It takes place in modern times in Gotham. Shot in New York City. He's just an Al Capone type. So he's just kind of a gangster. Also another gangster, Carmine Falcone, the typical mob boss. We know Carmine Falcone. Like Italian classic mob boss, John Turturro. Plays him. Both very good. Nothing. They they weren't the main focus, but it was cool to see them on screen when they were on screen. I enjoyed them. But we'll talk about Catwoman a little bit after, but the Riddler. So last time we seen the Riddler was when Jim Carrey tried to pull it off back in the day with Batman Forever. I forget when that came out. I did have it on VHS. And when I was a kid, I liked it. It was fun. As an adult, doesn't hold up. It's bad. It's the Riddler trying to be the Joker. They're two different characters. This movie gets that. The Riddler loves puzzles. He loves riddles. And in this movie, the main basis of our plot line is the Riddler is killing off important, high-level people in the city. Why is he doing this? He wants to expose corruption. So you know well, you may not know, but I love that. He does it. He knows the politicians are full of it. He knows the police are full of it. He knows everybody that's an authority figure. Even the ones you think are squeaky clean. They got dirt. And he exposes that dirt. He's got this low like voice when he's talking, when they reveal him, and he's just talking as a regular dude when his mask is off. When he's himself, but his mask is really the real him, you know what I mean? And he's very soft spoken, but he's very menacing. But when he's got the mask on, he's very loud. He's loud. He's getting his anger out. And I feel like the Riddler, they did this and they based it off the Zodiac Killer. It looks a lot like the Zodiac Killer. There's only one person able to see the Zodiac Killer up close that lived, and he was in this all black outfit, face covered in all black, and had glasses. Looked almost exactly like that. So between that, the ciphers the Riddler writes in this movie, and like this threatening, menacing voice to his victims, I feel like it's based off the Zodiac Killer. So as someone who many moons ago what I do? I did like research on the Zodiac killings from in Northern California. This is before the movie came out, which the movie's excellent, but it just fascinated me because like this, you don't know who he is, and they still don't know really who he is. Just very intimidating, and even though he knows eventually he's going to get captured, so what does he do? He gets his people that also see the corruption. There's people that are out there, fringe people they call them in the movie, and via social media, he gets them to congregate and gather and come together for a mutual goal, which is destruction and killing, and now I only watched it once, so there could be some plot holes, but it feels pretty tight. So basically, yeah, Riddler killing off important people, trying to expose political corruption, Batman working with the police, you got Lieutenant Gordon in there. Excellent job out of Lieutenant Gordon. But for me, even though Robert Pattinson very well, the Riddler, even though he's masked, steals the show for me. I loved his character. I loved it. Not only did I like the way it was played, I acted out, I think, but I just like somebody that's exposing liars, And even though they try to get you to side with Batman, I'm still not, I was rooting for him at the end, because, oh God, I want to talk about that ending. Oh my gosh. It's just way too new for me to talk about the ending. Really good. Let's just say this isn't going to be it. That's all I'm going to say. This isn't going to be it. It's a 3-hour movie, so a lot of people know I am not a fan of a 3-hour flick. But I was there. We'll talk about the people in the crowd in a minute. Zoe Kravitz played Catwoman. Selena Kyle, very good. Enjoyed her. She was fine. There was some good, I guess, sexual tension between her and Batman, but Robert Pattinson is clearly actor. I'm not a big fan of artists and celebrities' kids getting roles in movies just because they are related to somebody. I've just, like, with the Sopranos movie, with James Gandolfini's son getting in there, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid getting in Licorice Pizza, and then, like, she's okay, but I felt like we could have found somebody else. Let's give somebody, this is a good spot to give somebody new a shot. Some like an unknown actress who's been working hard, maybe done some low-level roles, I don't know. I thought they'd go up to nothing, no disrespect to her. I just like to, let's give it to an actor. Let's give it to some, there's a lot of people out there working, acting that deserve a shot. But shot absolutely beautifully. A Batman movie has to be dark. It's gothic. Robert Pattinson feels like a gothic Batman, but also like a very relatable Batman. Most of the time you're spending time with him, he is Batman. He's very little Bruce Wayne. You don't get a lot of talking. Hits all those points. The story works. Obviously there's a villain trying to destroy the city. That's a Batman movie. It's a basic story from a Batman movie. I personally like the motivation of exposing people that think they're so untouchable. These untouchable figures. They're clean. We all think they're clean. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors with our politicians, our celebrities, people that we think are squeaky clean. We don't know what really goes on, do we? I mean, but, so, I'm going a little bit too far there, but he wanted to expose the people that are lying about things that are serious. And the Riddler speech to Batman, I was an orphan too. But you know what? I was in an orphanage with 30 other kids to a room. You're in a mansion, and you're the one getting sympathy? Where's our sympathy? What happened to all the promises your dad made? What's all that? And yeah, that's another thing I like. They didn't harp on the fact that Bruce Wayne was an orphan too much. Very well done. Very well blended in. When I went into the movie, I didn't want a bunch of time spent on, oh, Bruce Wayne's an orphan. You obviously have to mention that, I get it, but like they didn't harp on it, and the way they did it and blending his connection to the Riddler because they are both orphans, liked it. Very well done. The music. The score felt very good. Like I said, it combined this comic book feel with a adult feel. So the music felt like a detective comic, but it also felt like a real crime story, a true crime story that you're watching. Very well, just a nice, like kept the intensity going. And Nirvana's Something in the Way, beginning and end, perfect. I love hearing that. I'm usually not a big fan of certain songs and certain band stuff being used in movies because it can be done so wrong, but I was okay with this. They did a pretty good job. The lyrics are appropriate considering the character of Batman. But overall, very good time. Do recommend it. It is a 3-hour movie. Folks, go see this movie. It is 3 hours. If you're gonna be on the phone, go under your coat, go somewhere where people can't see your phone, and also, we're right near the mall, the movie theater I went to, and somebody left the movie theater, right? And then comes back 15 minutes later with something like this, with food, and is in the theater, seeing the food, flashlight out, like, come on, man. People pay money to come here. And what about the kid this is their first Batman experience? Like they're 10 years old, they come in and they have to see you and smell your Chinese food? Not cool. Not acceptable. Oh yeah, but so I had people next to me talking, chit chat, and I was like, I want to watch this, I want to review it. Let me just knock this out. Normally I wouldn't even go to the movie opening weekend. I wouldn't even torture myself. By doing that. But I wanted to review it. I'm a big Batman fan. I figured some people might want to hear my thoughts on the newest Batman movie. So, there you have it. Just be mindful of the theater. So I went to, let's say, just say a secluded part of the theater where I could kind of hide and not have to be around people too much, and I could enjoy the movie. I felt very hidden. It was actually very cool. I felt like I was a little kid, my legs crossed, sitting in front of the TV watching, you know, the animated series back in there. It was very cool. Very fun. I was very hidden. But yeah, I love it. Good movie. As far as the Batmans go, I would like the character. This might be, Robert Pattinson might be the best Batman for me. Right now, that's where I'm at. I do like Affleck. I like Affleck a lot. I know a lot of people are down on Affleck. Not a big Christian Bale fan. The voice does get a little bit over the top. He's okay. He's not bad. Michael Keaton. It works. But he's not menacing. Like, he doesn't have, you don't feel his angst. Like you feel Robert Pattinson's angst for his place in life and his way people look at him, all that. It's hard to say. Hard to say, my baby, but Robert Pattinson might be up there. I need to watch this again. No distractions, no people talking and chit-chatting in the theater. I would like to watch it again at some point. As far as Batman movies go overall, it's top 2, maybe, yeah. That's right there. Top three, definitely. It's up there. No disrespect to the Batman vs Superman movies, but there's a little bit too much Superman, a little bit too much light. I like more just Batman. Those are good movies. I liked Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, but it wasn't a pure Batman movie, so it's hard to judge. But so I'm just judging Ben Affleck as Batman, and I enjoyed him. He actually might be my second favorite Batman after Pattinson. I just liked the look of him. I like the I'm not a billionaire, but you could tell he had this like, he's doing the right thing, but he has this like self-hate. He has this judgment against himself, so he wants to do the right thing. And his motivation is, like, I feel like his driving force is there's a murder that happens in the movie that the Riddler pulls off, and there's a kid that happens to be, you know, not a victim, but his parent is killed. And I feel like that's his motivation, because he sees that in him. I just really like the character. I really like I said, the black eye makeup, his low-toned voice. He never yells. Didn't yell like the Christian Bale character. Like, he didn't do that Batman voice. And listen, no disrespect, but that wasn't the best thing in the world ever. But yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Very good movie. Riddler, one of my favorite. We're talking villains, Batman villains. I mean, he's not Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm not putting him on that level. That's tough. But he's up there. I don't know. He might actually take that spot. I don't know. That's a reach. But he's up there. He's up there for sure. Really good movie. It's long. It's 3 hours. So if you got a lot of trailers playing before it, you know, it's a 4.5 hour adventure, depending how far you gotta drive to and from the theater. So if I'm not saying it's worth it for all that, but if you really like Batman, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But guys, and this suki hana was very good as well. Chicken teriyaki, potatoes. I know I was talking about the movie all the time, not really much the food, but yeah. You're gonna find yourself rooting for the villain in this one if you have a disdain for lying authority figures. Oh, forgot. Oh, Peter Sarsgaard's in there. That was a cool thing. They say I almost forgot. I always liked it. He was the DA. Very cool to see him. I really want him to be, you know, but whatever. He deserves a bigger role. But it was still cool to see him in a Batman movie. Wasn't expecting that at all. He was in there again. A lot of good side characters. Acting's good across the board. Shot beautifully. Got the nice gothic look. New York looks fantastic in the movie. Joker's playing. Root for the villain, man. All right, I will see y'all guys again soon. Thank you for joining me today. Y'all take care, be well, and have a great one.